We're live for the big ball.
Hello.
Ooh.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue, where you can't always get what you want, but you'll find sometimes you get what you need. My name is Mary.
You get what you need. I'm Sarah. Mary's got her blue eyeshadow on, too. She has
blue eyes.
I never wear blue eyeshadow.
She's channeling Jenna Wade.
Baby's got
now
blue
I'm
eyes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm wearing blue and gold, things I never wear.
So, quick update here. April 21st to 23rd at the VBC South Hall in Huntsville, Alabama, Omri Katz will be.
What? That's like so close to me.
Go over and say hello if you can. Obviously, Linda Gray not appearing at Chiller anymore, but
Damn it.
Palm Springs, June 13th, we have the Dallas cast has grown to 8.
I can't believe I'm not going.
Patrick Duffy, Linda Gray, Charlene Tilton, Steve Canale, Audrey Landers, Joan Van Ark, and now Kathy Podwell and Cherie Wilson have joined. And speaking of Cherie, she has her Yellow Rose Gala Foundation fundraiser on April 15th, which is, I believe, Saturday in Dallas. So if you're down there and you want to get tickets, look up the Yellow Rose Gala Foundation. I will repost our podcast with her tomorrow so people can hear that. And I know we're out of order. You want to do your Patreon thing, but I'll just throw the birthdays quickly.
Yeah, okay, do birthdays.
Tomorrow, April 13th, Howard Keel would be 104. Stephanie Blackmore, Serena, is 75.
Serena. 75?
Yep.
God. I feel really fucking old now.
Michael Aldridge, who played Detective Horton. Not Horton Hears a Who, but Detective Horton. Will be 82. April 14th, Randolph Powell with his beamskin rug will be 73. April 15th, Lois Childs, our own Holly Harwood. Born in 1947, so 76?
Yes, 76.
76, yes. And let's jump to next week. I don't know if he is on with us yet, but our own Tyler Banks, John Ross number 1 that was credited, not the uncredited baby. April 19th, 1979, he will be 44. Little baby John Ross, 44 years old. And that is that for now.
Cool.
Because next week we have Ken Kercheval's death anniversary too.
I'd like to also say hi to our 80s life. And is it Ian or Ian McPherson are in our chat right now. So welcome.
Hello.
Our 80s life will be in Palm Springs, and they will try to cover all the action for us. Oh, I wish I could be there.
Me too. Okay, so
Me too.
Quick shout out to our Patreon members. Brendan Fillick, Captain America, Sheen Pye, Justin Ware, Marie Johnson, Michael, Jason Gregory, Jason Carter, Laura Bernheim, Brad Mulholland, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano. Thank you. You guys are rad as always.
We love you guys.
The numbers are growing.
And a little heart.
Growing. So who else on our chat besides Amy is coming to Chiller? Let's just see if anyone else out there is coming.
I don't know.
And we may have some more guests in the not too distant future for everybody.
Ooh. So tonight we are talking about season 6, episode 4, episode 107 of the series, The Big Ball, which is the very first Oil Barons ball that we see anyway.
What's really waiting for you at South Fork? Only John Ross.
And JR.
No matter how much you think he's changed, you know what your life with him would be if you marry him.
Well, I'm not so sure that I am going to marry him.
You're announcing that memorial scholarship in Daddy's name, especially at the All Barons Ball. Well, it'd mean the world, Mama.
I'll never feel for anyone the way I felt for you.
Then things really haven't changed between us.
I don't know what old Jock would have said about this. Maybe Miss Ellie could speak for him.
I love Oil Barons. Those are my favorite
and
episodes.
cheese.
I mean, I love them. Like, seriously.
Seriously.
I like these along with the barbecues, weddings, anything where everybody is thrown.
Yeah.
Yep, where everybody is thrown together.
Yeah.
Good call, rodeos. Yes. Love them.
Oh, and we have someone he's in Scotland.
Yeah,
Wow.
I would guess. But the name like that's very Scottish.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
Oh, McPherson? That one?
Yeah, we both did terrible Scottish
If
accents.
it's not
We're sorry.
Scottish, it's crap.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
going to sound really stupid, but Mr. McPherson, what time is it there?
I think
I just
what
want to
time is it
know.
over
6 hours from Eastern time, so
1 in the
math.
morning?
Well,
We've
y'all
got
are 7:12, so that would be 2:12 in the morning? Or before?
1:12.
112?
I'm sorry, I'm just from Alabama. I can't do math. I'm just kidding. That was really sad.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, because we move our clocks earlier than other people.
right.
So, yeah, it's midnight over there.
What part of Scotland are you from? Because I love Scotland and I have been there. I even took Scottish Gaelic classes for 2 years. And,
I have enemies in Dundee.
In Dundee, eh? Okay.
Yeah, so I will not set foot in that cesspool of a city.
I don't think it's a cesspool. I mean, there's no cesspools. The
Yeah,
Isle of Skye, are you
be
kidding
careful.
me?
What?
Huh?
He's from the Isle of Skye, which is
That just sounds like the Isle of Skye. I wish I could do an Irish accent. Shit.
it's
I
not
can't.
Irish, it's Scottish. They're different.
Yeah, there's a different like a.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who can probably do a great one is Jake Wardle, who was in season 3 of Twin Peaks.
Well, he can do
wore
like
the
every
green
accent. Yeah.
Yeah, I love watching his feed.
I can do a lot
when
of
he posts
accents.
things.
Mostly if
I'm
you're
sorry,
really
I'm-
drunk.
I'm looking exactly.
So drink
I have-
up.
Oh,
Here we
have
go.
Fabiano N.A. Souza from Brazil
Mm.
on. Hello,
Awesome.
Brazil.
Hello.
One of my very best friends is coming to visit tomorrow, and her boyfriend is coming. He lives in the U.S., but he is from Brazil, and they're coming tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
Fun. Okay.
Yeah, Brazil.
Okay, episode. So this was written and directed by Larry Katzman. It's a twofer.
Leonard.
Leonard, I think how many times have I done that, Larry? Like, I'm just gonna call him Larry from now. Like,
I
we're
was
best
gonna
friends. Like, we're personal buddies.
Hey, Larry.
I can't speak tonight, which is not good because we're live, and I can't edit this all out because normally I would.
When did you start drinking?
Just as like I was not even pre-partying. I was
Me
not.
either.
So
Me either. So
I have no reason. Just my mouth doesn't work sometimes. Okay. This aired originally October 22nd, 1982. On October 22nd, 1982, the #1 Billboard hit in the U.S. was Jack and Diane by John Cougar, still. And
Jack and Diane.
in the U.K. was Pass the Dutchie by Musical
Sucking on a
Youth.
chili dog.
Again, the #1 film in the U.S. was First Blood, starring Sylvester Stallone. And the top news stories from this week are automaker John DeLorean, who made the DeLorean, like Back to the Future, was arrested on cocaine charges, which is like the most 80s headline ever. And
So that's how they really got the fuel in the flux capacitor. It was
Yeah.
cocaine.
And then a private funeral service was held for Bess Truman, who was the former First Lady of the United States.
Cocaine capacitor.
I mean, that's a little bit easier to get a hold of than plutonium. So,
Yes.
good
That
news.
movie scares me, that part. That's why I don't like those vans anymore, because of that scene in Back to the Future.
Well, those vans are scary anyway. Just like a white, like, raper van. No.
El Camino
Yeah.
scare me too.
Libyans.
I just think of like, hey, get in my car. That's what I think of. Like for candy.
See, Bobby Daniels just answered Isis's question as I was waiting to answer it, but thank
What's
you.
that?
See, was this the one where Jock wins the oil baron posthumously? No, this is the one where the scholarship is announced.
Yeah, this is the very first one we see, which is the third. There have been 30 or 29 we haven't seen, I guess, and this is the one we do see.
And this episode fell to number 26. No, just kidding.
Okay,
No, it went from number 12 to number 3.
Okay.
Punk's real name is Marvin.
Yeah.
Which and then there was recycle of the name Anderson because we had Maynard Anderson. This is the mention of the Jock Ewing Scholarship that we mentioned here. was taken so seriously by viewers that SMU received numerous inquiries and established a real scholarship for film students.
They did?
Yes, they did.
Oh my God. I wonder if it's still going. That's amazing.
We'll have to look that up. Can somebody out there look that up, please?
That's cool.
This was the first of 7 oil barons balls seen on the show. The others were seen in seasons. I have to add 1 to everything that Barbara Curran says. So seasons 7 through 12.
Because it's the old numberings.
Yeah, and it was based on a real social event, the Cattle Barons Ball, which they showed in the new series. And it's an annual benefit put on by the Dallas chapter of the American Cancer Society.
Oh.
The cast members did frequently attend the Cattle Barons Ball. And according to Steve Canale, before the Who Shot JR phenomenon, real Dallasites used to say they hated the show and that they didn't know anybody like JR. And afterwards, after Who Shot JR, they're, oh, how realistic that is, and blah, blah, blah. Larry and Mai Hagman got involved in raising funds for the Cattle Barons Ball. And several real-life Dallas society matrons actually became extras in Oil Barons Ball scenes throughout the series.
That makes sense.
This episode was Jared Martin's only appearance in season 6, not 5. His new wife also appears in this episode, and it's very ironic that her name is Linda, which was an inside joke of Linda Gray.
Oh, was it? I wondered.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay, well, we open on, we're starting big in this episode. Like, it's big, go big or go home. There's like an overhead shot of like a big yacht club with some exciting, fancy music.
But it's not Lake Tecapa.
It is, well, no, it is not like Tecapa. It's
Tecapa.
I am Tecapa.
This is not Tecapa. This is some way fancier place where Holly Harwood has her yacht. And she has summoned JR all the way there. I guess it's a ways to get there. I don't know how far, but JR is put out. Mostly because she's not putting out, but you know what I'm saying.
well, at least someone's put out. JR is put out because he has to travel there.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you had me come all this way for ifs and maybes. And she's just like laying there sunning herself, not worrying at all. And she's like, well, we can meet in my office in Dallas if you want to.
But no, he can't do that because then he needs the connection to be private.
Right.
He needs to be.
He wants us on the DL.
He needs to be that little Wizard of Oz man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then she finally like tells him that she's already given like the go ahead for the refinery like before this. And he just gets instantly pissed.
She's already messing with him.
This is definitely like a little like vying for control in this scene.
One-upsmanship and gamesmanship.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's like showing him, I own 70. What she literally says, I own 75% of this company. Remember that.
Yeah.
And then he says he makes the decisions and she does what she's told. And she's like,
And then he brings up why he doesn't like doing business with women.
JR, I get the feeling our relationship has changed somehow.
No, it's exactly the same. I make the decisions and you do as you're told.
That's not what I meant.
Well, what is it then?
Did I upset you when I turned down your little pass the other day?
Well, you did remind me that doing business with women can be a very frustrating situation.
right.
So why did you hit that bell?
Hold on. I didn't put the bell next to me, but he finds working with women to be frustrating. And it's because she didn't have sex with him. So that leads me to the question of like, do you have sex with the men? Like what? What? What?
And if anybody out there has comments on scenes, please, by all means, post them so we can read them.
Yeah.
Add to the conversation.
I love to answer questions on the spot.
You guys add in with us.
Show.
Oh, and here, check out this is my trash bell. It has a little smiley face on it.
And my...
You're crazy.
Isn't that called
crazy horn?
That's my crazy horn.
Your FUJR bell?
If somebody does something crazy, you're going to get called out by the Sarah.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy in the show, so it's very useful.
Crazy.
She calls him on his shit. She's like, I think I upset you by telling you that, like, I'd rather have sex with your brother.
I thought my telling you that I preferred your brother to you might have ruffled your feathers some.
I don't care if you want to be with 2 chimpanzees and a goat. I only make an offer once. You do as you're told. We'll leave it at that.
Let's do just that.
So let's just do business and leave it at that. And she's like, yeah, let's do that.
Business. Let's do the business.
And I feel like at that moment, the relationship kind of cools a little bit. Just a wee bit. And then we cut to the Southern Cross.
Sue Ellen and Dusty are,
oh my gosh,
strangers.
So Dusty rides up to Sue Ellen in the tightest white hot pants that are also bell bottoms. Like, I can't not look at his junk in the scene.
I'm sorry. I got to cut it.
Junk, as in Boyle's, Barron's balls.
I'm sorry. Do people have such low self-esteem for their parts that they call it junk?
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe.
I never liked that term.
Your junk.
Great, but I mean, give me
the jewels, the family jewels.
That seems not. If there's a better term other than jewels, okay.
You know you've gone into a recession when it goes from the jewels to the junk.
True.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, they're just, and I don't think Dusty blinks this entire scene. He is just like staring at her like.
But he has his ascot.
That fucking ascot.
It's Dusty, of course he does.
That's right.
I could say package. How about package? It's package. No.
See, that makes me think it's like a surprise. It's a Christmas package. No, it's not. Balls are ugly.
Chicken in a box.
So junk is like, ooh, you got garbage in your pants. Package is like surprise, but it's really not. Ooh, surprise, it's saggy.
Danger noodle.
Yes.
Rope no.
Surprise, it's a dick in a box.
It's a dick in a box. Jesus.
Dusty balls. That's what Kyle likes.
Dusty balls.
Dusty balls.
That was a good one, Josh.
Okay,
High five. Josh got the. That's not crazy.
No.
This is from Kyle. This is from Kyle.
No, this is from our listener.
Yeah.
This is from our listener.
Oh, well, you get this. Yay! That was a good one. Dusty balls. I love it.
And Isis said,
made my
JR
day.
was mad that Holly preferred Bobby over him. And it's like, well, obviously.
And this is an oil Barron's ball up, so there are a lot of balls in this episode.
Yep. Ba-dum-bum.
It's great.
Dusty will always have feelings for, but he's moved on.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he's being really sort of intense and weird. And he's like,
well, we'll find out why.
He's insisting that they put everything behind him. And she's like, yeah, but like how we feel about each other and our relationship really hasn't changed, right? And he's like,
his penis works again. Sorry.
And she's not getting why he's so intense. But he's being very intense.
It's alive.
He's like, I got a goddamn story for you.
He admits that he still has the feels for her. And then after a long stare down, he's like, we got to go back to the house. Because he's looking at her like he's going to like throw her on the ground, on the grass, if they don't leave that second.
Oh, God.
Could be.
Right. His Frankencock is alive.
Oh, Jesus.
It's alive. Okay. And so then we cut to South Fork, where Ellie and Mavis come home with Ellie's oil prom dress.
Oil prom.
Oil prom.
Anita Wren is listening while driving.
Hi,
Go,
Anita.
girl. Go, girl. Go.
And she says Mary looks like $1 million, and I'm assuming the rest of us look like $1.50.
I would say I'm probably 5 cents tonight. I'm not going to lie.
No.
It's been a long day. And I had therapy at 3, so just top the day off.
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay. I'm okay.
The next Oil Barons Ball, which I think is my favorite episode ever of Dallas next season. We have to do it up.
I mean, I will. I promise. Like, I have to.
It's too bad we don't have virtual backgrounds because we could put the ball behind us.
Oh, yeah.
That sounded bad, too. Sorry.
Not the balls, the ball.
Same thing. Some people have uniballs. My dog did. Opie, you had one ball? Yeah.
Hey, Tom Green has one.
Yeah. A lot of people do.
JR is lounging in his robe by the pool, drinking a bunch of Bloody Marys. Who knows what time it is? It's like the afternoon. He's like, whatever, I don't have a job. And then Mavis goes to leave, and then JR stops her and asks if Punk and the boys are still going to go ahead and announce that scholarship in Jock's name at the Oil Barons Ball.
He's very fixated. I wonder why.
JR fixated? No way.
Mm-mm.
Mom,
Mommy.
mommy.
Hi.
And this episode is like scholarship.
Mommy. What? Hi.
So then she's like, yeah, I don't think that they are, because, they don't want to upset Ellie. And then he tries, like, for a second to convince her. And then she's just like, and then he just, like, realizes that's not the avenue he needs to go. And he lets it go.
Yeah.
That's right. In chauvinist fashion, if you want something done, a man's going to talk to another man.
Right. Well, I guess in this case where the men are actually making that decision, they're the ones that are doing it. So it does make more sense. But,
that's true.
And then we cut all the way over to Kansas, where Ray and Donna arrive at Aunt Lil's house.
Oh.
And Ray introduces Aunt Lil and Donna. And one of our listeners, and I apologize because I did not write down their name but I was going to go back and check in. I didn't because I had a busy day. But they said that Aunt Lil speaks like Bill Clinton, and I can never unhear that now.
Okay, so now I need to listen because I'll have to write that down. I'll have to go back and look.
So whoever you are, let me know that you said that because it
Raymond,
was amazing.
Raymond, I feel your pain.
I
feel your pain. Monica, would you like a cigar?
No. So then Ray's like, she invites them into the house, and Ray says, oh, well, we got to go to the hotel and drop our stuff off. And she's like, no, you're staying here. And he's like, okay.
I didn't even want to come anyway.
Yeah, he looks really uncomfortable. And then, so Dusty and Sue Ellen.
Oh, no. Oh, that person said that I sounded like Bill Clinton when I did the Aunt Lil impression.
Oh.
Well, it was funny both ways, but now we love you.
Okay.
Right. Raymond.
I think that's because Josh has like one Southern accent.
Hey.
I'm not saying that I am more well-versed in Southern accents, because I am not. We are not from the South.
Our 80s life says we have to talk about Emporia, Kansas, which is a real town near where they live. But these scenes were actually filmed in Wiley, Texas.
Oh. Good to know.
Yeah, we like this trivia. Now,
is there anything that gives away that this is not Emporia?
The little Texas logo on the street sign? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean.
Well, but our 80s life, we have to talk more about the event in California at some point.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I have some ideas. That's just me. I always have ideas.
You're the idea guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Dusty and Sue Ellen arrive back at the house to meet Clayton and a lady.
Some blonde woman.
Whose name is
Clayton got himself a lady?
Dun dun dun. Dusty's wife, Linda. And Sue Ellen is taken aback.
Yeah, you might say that she's blindsided.
Yeah, just a bit. I like Linda immediately, and I think we're supposed to like her, but I just really like her. She immediately notices that Sue Ellen is blindsided. Like, she can see that. And then she's just like, oh my, like, did you not tell her? Did you not warn her? And he's like, no. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, that's the whole reason you went out there, you know? And he's like, yeah, sorry.
Well, she started talking about our relationship and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And so she's like, we have you at an unfair advantage because, like, he's told me all about you. And, like, I really wanted to meet you. It's really important because you were important to him. And, like, she's really going out of her way to make Sue Ellen feel okay. So I really like Linda.
And meanwhile, Clayton is in the background just kind of assessing the scene.
Clayton has a lot of faces in this scene.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they do start talking about having kids. And I feel like, and they say when they have their first little girl, they're going to name her Sue Ellen, which, okay, weird.
That's a little slap in the face.
It is a record scratch moment because it is, I mean, literally like Sue Ellen looks like someone hit her across the face. And because she's just like, what? And so I guess it's pretty obvious. Like Dusty got his D back. Dusty can fuck again.
Got his D back. Got my D back.
And
I
it's
want
also,
my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back.
And it's also obvious to Sue Ellen and me and everyone else that like that happened, and he did not immediately come back to Sue Ellen.
The Frankencock has been.
He had to practice
revived.
first before he came back for the master.
Right.
He needed to master his own domain.
I bet he did master his own domain quite well.
He did.
But Dusty, what the fuck? Ouch! Ooh, I felt for Sue Ellen in this episode.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Back to Emporia,
Yes.
or Wiley, Texas, and Lil is going over funeral arrangements with them and what's going to happen, and the preacher and
Dr.
this and
Blyman,
that.
or Dr. Reverend Blyman is going to be performing the service and for Amos. And she wants Ray to say something nice about him, since, you know, that was your daddy.
Raymond, could you say something nice about your father? Well,
I mean,
being a dumb cowboy, perhaps I could say he wasn't my father. That's the nicest thing I can say about him.
Ray just decides to disassociate from the entire situation by mowing the lawn.
you can totally tell. The whole thing is disassociated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we see him cutting the lawn later.
We do, but he's immediately like, he breaks this. He's like, let's stop talking. Like, oh, your lawn, it really needs to be mowed. I'm going to go do that. But before he does, that's not even a motorcycle, right? That's like a motorbike.
A
right?
moped, maybe.
It's a moped.
Yeah.
Okay. A moped. Michael / Mickey mopeds up to the house. Who's Lil's
and you can
son.
tell he's got a little bit of tood coming in there.
Mm-hmm. Major tood. Because he's just like, he gives Ray like a bunch of attitude, like, oh yeah, that's right, you work on a farm, don't you? And Ray's like, well, it's not really a farm, it's a ranch. And he's like, yeah, same thing. Which I guess I would have probably thought the same. And he's just like, well, they're different. Because he was just like, yeah, whatever, okay, bye. And I don't know if anybody else watched this state, but it just reminded me of that sketch where he's like, I'm Doug and I'm out of here.
Definitive Dallas is having some technical issues, so they're going to have to listen to the recording later.
Oh, okay. We'll miss you.
Okay. Just go help yourself to a bourbon and branch on the way out.
Yeah.
And we all agree that he needs a swift kick in the arse.
Yeah, Lil's like, he's a nice boy. He just kind of needs a kick in the pants.
Raymond, he needs some direction.
A firm hand to discipline him. Which, all right. We never find out what happened to Mickey's dad, right? Do we know?
I don't think so.
Oh, Mickey, you're not so fine. You're not so fine. Hey, Mickey. Hey,
Mickey's
Mickey.
a little bit fine. Mickey's a little bit fine.
His tight pants, too.
I mean, it's 82. It's all the tight pants.
They all have short shorts and tight pants. All of them.
And in another season, we're going to have the half shirts. So it's what it is.
So we go to South Fork to do our podcast live. I should wear tight pants or short shorts.
And
No,
a
you should
half and a half shirt.
A jersey, like a cutoff football jersey.
Cut off football jersey, like Peter.
Or like Teen Wolf.
Then
And tube socks.
I better do some sit-ups then.
What is next?
Clayton saying goodnight to Sue Ellen at the Southern Cross.
Oh, yeah. He comes to see if she's doing okay. Which
Hey, Mickey, Lucy will blow your mind. Hey, Mickey.
she says she is, but she's obviously
With an
not
ascot.
fine. And
Right. And it's like daggers when she hears Linda calling Clayton Dad out in the hallway.
Right. And like they're obviously getting ready to go to bed in like the room next to hers.
It's weird.
Like,
it's really weird.
It reminded me of like good night on Walton Mountain. Everybody's saying good night to each other.
Saying good
Good
night,
night, John Boy.
But like her knowing that in like 15 minutes, she's probably going to have to listen to them having sex at the same time, you know? And she's just like.
Hopefully the walls aren't as thin as at South Fork.
I mean, she can hear them right now while she's in her room. So yeah, they are that thin.
Ooh.
So
Very
she starts to cry. And then she calls the ranch and tells Ellie that she's going to be coming back to South Fork post haste.
Yeah. So, and she's going to be going to the ball with JR.
True. Then we cut to Amos's funeral.
This funeral went
Sad.
a lot. It was a lot smaller attended than funeral I was at in Colorado. And the funeral I was at in Colorado, we were at the cemetery and the winds were 75 miles an hour and persistent.
Yikes.
We were under a tree. They actually had to clear us out. So there was no wind in Emporia, Kansas in this episode.
Yeah. And I feel like Kansas is kind of known for being windy, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's how the house got put down on the Wicked Witch of the...
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
So then afterwards, Ray walks over to his mom's grave and like stops and talks to her, and it's kind of sweet.
Yes, Digger did have a bigger funeral than old Amos, but because old Amos was a drunk, and all the people, there were like 5 people that weren't related, and they just kind of sprinkled off after the service was over. They just disappeared, and then Michael, or Mickey, as he wants to be called, just said, "Nope, I'm out of here," and he just took off and blew out of town.
Our 80s life says that you can tell that it's not really Kansas because it's not windy. Nice.
True. Nice. My sister-in-law lives in Kansas, in Topeka.
Ooh. Topeka, which is like tapioca.
I think my high school boyfriend lives there.
You're like, I think. Are you Facebook friends with him?
I was Facebook friends with him very briefly.
Are you still dating?
Oh God, no. Not since I was 16 years old.
I mean, I'm Facebook friends with like maybe 2 of my ex-boyfriends. The rest it's just weird.
We were friends, and then he got a new girlfriend, and then we weren't friends. And then I was
because she said for you not to be friends anymore. That's what happened.
Probably.
Just so you know.
And I was just like, all right.
And you're like, I don't care.
I'm not exactly a threat.
Yeah.
But
like,
okay.
well.
No, when I stop being friends with people, I just get blocked. So that's clean and simple.
I guess it depends on the person. I have blocked people, but it takes a lot for me to unfriend someone to begin with.
I only unfriend you or block you if you dick pic me. Don't do that.
Right.
We've had this discussion. There's no dick pics. I don't want a tit pic either. I don't want any kind of body parts.
Don't give me
in my DMs.
Unless I specifically request it, then sure.
Exactly.
So that picture of Dick Van Dyke I sent you should not have been sent.
You're blocked.
I've been blocked by more people than I can count, but that's okay. I know who the good people are, and I know who the bad people are.
Opie wants to be on camera for 1 second. Okay. Everyone say hello to Opie.
Hi, Opie.
Say hello. Oh, he's going crazy. Oh, here comes Reba. Hold on. And there's Reba. Hello.
Reba
and Opie. Reba was actually...
Opie, how are things in Mayberry?
Look, Josh said... He said, what'd you say?
How are things in Mayberry, Opie?
How are they? Do you hear him? You would tell him something? Okay, I gotta. One more?
What do you think of the oil baron's ball, Opie?
What do you think?
I don't have any. I don't have any balls. I had them removed.
He loves Dallas. If it was up to me, he would have been JR and she would have been Sue Ellen.
Oh my God.
But that was nixed on someone's part.
But then he would have to cheat on Sue Ellen.
Opie would never do that. Opie's my sweet baby. Get away from my food.
Then he can't be a JR if he's not a cheater.
You know what would have been a cute name? Cliff. That would have been a cute dog name.
That would be a cute name, yeah.
Clifford. Oh my God, now the mean wiener dog is
We just got a new dog and we named him Bella Lugosi.
Oh, I was going to ask you what the name was, but what did you just call it, Bella?
We call him Lugosi because
I like that.
My son said that Bella was too basic of a name. So
I mean, I would call him Lugosi too.
Yeah, Lugosi.
I used to have a cat named Napoleon Dynamite, and we said the whole thing, and the vet was like, I fucking hate you. I was like, sorry.
So Ray talks about Jock and everything like that. And I wonder if Margaret and Jock are friends up there. And
Yeah.
The pastures beyond.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a little kinky. Like
Could
ghost
be.
sex.
it could be.
Oh.
You don't know. I thought it was kind of sweet. And then we cut to the Southern Cross where Clayton and Linda have ridden off on the horses to give Dusty and Sue Ellen a chance to really talk. And then Sue Ellen is pissed this morning. She's just like, I don't think we have anything to say.
Manhattan, Kansas. Well, you have to tell us more about that one. Someone in the chat talking about a place in Kansas called Manhattan. Is that where that crappy clam chowder came from? That's tomato based. That's not really chowder. That's stew.
Huh.
Anyhow.
So yeah, she's a little pissy. And he says that Linda is good for him and he's known her all his life. And by the way, he didn't ask her to marry him until he found out that she was remarrying JR. And Sue Ellen's
pissed.
Yeah, she doesn't think that's a very good reason, which, it's not really. But
And basically, he got his Frankencock working because it wasn't a physical problem. It was psychological. And as soon as she was out of his life,
start working again.
Dusty, you're digging yourself a hole.
Yeah, but he just made it 10 times worse.
He just made it so she's like, so is me. Like, you couldn't get
Dusty's
it up for me.
He's digging himself a hole that he couldn't pump his way out of.
No. As hard as he tried, he couldn't pump himself out of it.
It was hard.
Well, it was after you left. So she's just like even more offended. She's like, so it's me. Okay, cool story, bro. And so she's just like feeling rejected, and probably just, I don't know, offended. And he's just like, but one night it worked. And she's like, well, lucky Linda.
I bet she's like, fuck you, and fuck you harder.
Oh, yeah. I'm like,
and fuck you too, Linda.
No, that's what Dusty's doing.
And then he has the gall to ask her if JR really is the right person for her. And like, dude. And she's like, yeah, well, who else is there? Oof. Come on. Yeah.
Clayton Farlow.
Daddy?
No, daddy. Mm-mm.
Dusty did go off and get married really quick.
Yeah, he did.
And Isis often said that she's often felt that Linda was a rebound woman, but also he's a lightweight and didn't want to be involved with Sue Ellen and JR's mess. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. And also, like, yeah, I think he just didn't want to. I don't think that he wanted to be that involved with anyone, honestly. I think that they had a lot of feelings, and I feel like that was taking away from other things in his life, and he didn't want to do that, which sucks. He
was probably getting off plenty, bouncing across the prairie on his horse.
Ooh.
Okay. Sure.
Oh, yes.
And then we cut to JR. He's at lunch just convincing Punk to give out the scholarship.
Quick scene.
It's a quickie.
Commercial. Quickie. which Sue Ellen would be lucky to get from Dusty after his.
That's all she wanted. God.
I think, though, that a lot of it really was not helped when JR called him a sexual washout in the middle of the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help. Yeah.
No, because it started playing. That's what started playing with his mind and wanting him to get back on the horse. Because then he started watching all those films.
It is, yeah. It's like my manhood. Whatever.
I need my danger noodle to start slithering again.
Gross.
Okay,
it was gross enough to make Sue Ellen leave the Southern Cross in the next scene.
Sue Ellen's getting the fuck out of Dodge. She's Audi 500 there. She's getting back to life. Back to reality.
Ooh, Ace of Base. Yeah. Woohoo. Is that
That's
Ace of
not
Base?
Ace of Base. No. Oh shit. It's not Ace of Base, but it's.
No,
oh my God.
Who is that? Ace of Base.
Whatever you want.
That was on last night playing bingo. Shit.
Was his name?
Is it Snap? Is that right? No.
Somebody look
it's a
that
weird.
Up. Somebody,
no, that's the power.
Somebody listening, look that up, please.
Yeah, someone. It's
Soul
gonna be
to
in my
soul.
head now.
That's it.
Soul to soul. Okay.
Soul to.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's, that early 90s. Mwah. Yeah. Yeah, so she's getting back to life, back to reality. Clayton warns her again about JR, and she tells him she's also unsure about that, but she's literally just going to take it one day at a time. And
With Valerie Bertinelli.
With Valerie Bertinelli. And Clayton tells her basically, like, hey, FYI, I'm your ride or die. So, you know, and she says, well, you're the best man I've ever known. And I believe that 100%.
If you ever need me.
You're the best man that I've ever known. And I hope you know how much I love you.
And I love you.
And speaking of riding or dying, Ray is riding that lawnmower with that oiled up chest.
Oh my God! Yes, he oiled up his chest to mow the lawn.
Come on now, Ray. Come on.
What do we, Ray?
Are you? Is he trying to give his aunt a thrill or something? There, I mean, she's sitting on the porch with her lemonade, watching her sweaty, shirtless nephew mow the lawn with a push mower, not one of those like ones that has the catch. It's like one of those ones that you push back and forth, and it has the little round blades that cut everything and leave it.
Yeah, it's like a manual one, not motorized.
Yeah.
We had one of those when we had a very small lawn.
Yeah, we had next door neighbors. They were such goobers and nerds. The son was away at a camp or something. He comes back, and he was very excited because his father had a surprise, a present for him. And what it was a manual lawnmower so that they would not be making noise while the son was studying.
Wow. I mean, cool. I bet that guy's making a lot of money now, though. Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
No.
So then Mickey comes, and he comes in with a huge toot, and Ray calls him out on being a lazy ass.
That's right.
And then Mickey mouths off to his mom, and then Ray loses his shit. And I feel like we get the first view of Ray as Psycho Dad, of which we get a few times in this series.
Yes.
He goes Psycho Dad mode, like 0 to 10.
There's going to be yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Attention. Hut.
And Mickey's like, who the fuck are you? Like, you're like my cousin? Okay, whatever.
I know. I mean, he really kind of overstepped his boundaries, I think.
And now, like, you're going to beat me up because I'm not going to mow the lawn? Like, okay.
Lil was happy to see Ray take a firm hand.
Yeah.
And she wishes Donna and Ray could stay longer, but that's really not going to happen. They've
Yeah,
what are they going to do in Emporia, Kansas?
Right, mow the lawn.
Are they going to open up a Tasty Freeze and let
Ray's just going to be oiling up his chest the whole time. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
And so then we cut to one main place where Marilee and Cliff are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and she's just going over business minutia with him. And then she wants him to go to the oil baron's ball, but not with her because she won't date him.
He thinks he thinks she's asking him out. And she's just like, oh God, no. Like, I'm not going to go with an employee. Please.
An employee.
Marilee.
She's a bitch. She's a bitch. I mean, she's just a total bitch. You just can't even get around it. A bitch.
I know. But it's like in such an amazing way. Sometimes I'm like, oh.
Oh, yes, ISIS. I swear, I always, in all caps, wanted a showdown between Marilee and Sue Ellen once Sue Ellen was a business mogul.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That would have been awesome.
That was a major missed opportunity in writing because all of crap that Marilee used to dish out in the earlier years.
That is true. If we could have had because we had Marilee and Sue Ellen back when they were both like having tea at the DOA or whatever.
Wallflowers.
Yeah.
Right.
But then in the later years.
And watercress sandwiches, as Jock Ewing said.
Right.
Watercress sandwiches.
Yeah, it's a women's thing.
Them going toe to toe in the later years would have been amazing. But again, there were so many missed opportunities, mostly in the later years.
Yeah, a very quick scene with Dusty.
Yeah. And Dusty asks where Swellen is, and Clayton just kind of like looks off into the middle distance, sighs, and says,
Gone.
She's gone. Oh, Clayton.
Now, this scene is the first scene where we see Bobby and Pam in this entire episode, and we're 3/4 of the way into the episode.
Because they don't have any drama going on at the moment. So they can they're a happy couple for like once.
Right. And nobody wants to watch a happy couple because it's boring television.
I don't mind a happy couple. I mean, honestly, I think that means you're a more talented writer if you can find interesting stories with a happy couple.
Karen and Mac on Knots Landing were together all the time, and they had these little comedic things where he went into his midlife crisis, and they argued over whether the toilet paper goes up over the top or from under the bottom.
It goes over the top.
Thank you.
Over the top.
Oh my God, over the top.
There's no.
God.
I mean, no.
If somebody changes it, I will change it back.
I will too. I will too.
I always do. The original patent
has it over the top. Mm-hmm.
Some people I know, they just leave it on the counter so it's sideways.
Or just dangling from the back. Why you want to do that?
We actually, this is probably TMI. We have to do that in my house right now because it's an older house. And the toilet paper rolls are like too big for like the toilet paper thing. It's like built into the wall. So
what did they have? Mini toilet paper for the
Yeah, they didn't have like the double ply and all that back then. Our old house was like that.
We shop at Costco for that stuff. So we get big ones.
So they must have had mini toilet paper for the tiny asses that they had back then.
Smaller than mine now. Tell me that much.
Oh, good. Isis watched Knots Landing too.
I need to watch
They did have their share of issues, though, usually from the outsiders.
Right.
Poor Kevin Dobson, rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, so everyone is dressed for the oil prom, and they're waiting for Ellie to come down. And I would say Pam's look is like classic. Like this is, when I think of 1982, I think of Pam's look in this scene.
Okay, I agree with you. And the rufflies.
The ruffles, yeah.
I totally get it, but
the hair.
They could have dressed Sue Ellen so much prettier. She's wearing my grandmother's dress to my brother's wedding. I'm not kidding.
For sure. Like Sue Ellen is dressed like she is how old she is now, like an 80-year-old.
Yeah,
how old is she? Like 38? Jesus.
But
I don't know what they were thinking.
I would say the way they were all dressed up, they were dressed to the 29s, not just the 9s, but the 29s.
But Larry Hagman does look good in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sue Ellen, they could have done so much better. I'm sorry.
And Bobby had a blowout with his hair.
Uh-huh.
A nice blowout.
And Ellie just has her...
She has a nice pink dress.
Pink dress.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is it pink?
Yeah, it's pink. It's like sparklies.
Which is the color underwear Lois Lane was wearing in Superman when she was interviewing Superman on the top of her penthouse. He couldn't see through the lead. Yes. She said, "What color is my underwear?" And he couldn't see, and the lead plant. And then a little while later, she's asking him a question, and he goes, "Pink."
Is that what she throws her? Oh, no, that's Niagara Falls. Never mind.
Okay, so the next scene. Oil Baron's Ball. So it's champagne fountain. There's a chocolate, I think there was a chocolate fountain that was smaller than the champagne fountain. It was like an oil derrick. And there's there's big oil derricks with fairy lights. And honestly,
Amy,
I
love
want
these.
to live inside that set. That is something I want to happen in my life. Is I want to go to an Oil Baron's Ball. I want
I do too.
I want to drink champagne from an oil derrick fountain with champagne.
Well, you would have to go now to the Cattle Baron's Ball, which is obviously what it was based on.
But there's not going to be an oil derrick with a thing
it'll be a moo cow.
I mean, if they ever do another Dallas reunion, I want to be on the planning committee. I'm just saying, I'm going to call it now. I want to be on the planning committee.
Me too.
There's shit that we need to do.
You would have to milk the udders. And I have an idea.
What?
No, Sarah said it was a moo cow. A milk cow.
Mm-hmm. It's moo cow. I will say,
Yeah.
though, it's too late now for the 45th, but I really think on the 50th, we should do, and that should be the reunion, an oil Barron's Ball 50th
Holy shit. We
reunion.
have 5 years to plan it.
Exactly. In 5 years to be like, we're on a fucking committee. We want to be part
I
of
want
it.
a committee. I want a champagne fountain that is an oil derrick.
And
a chocolate fountain.
And a chocolate fountain that is an oil derrick. And like large.
Oh, did you notice people started using the Dallas 45 hashtag finally?
I saw it on something.
Ideas. Who wants it? Who wants it? Let's do this.
Ideas. We have all the ideas. Someone listen to us. Okay. So Bobby and everyone says hello to each other, and they're nice. So then Bobby immediately thinks JR is up to something because he always is.
And Ellie gets skirted away by Mavis and Punk to see her friends. And, and then JR and Sue Ellen go off to get a drink.
Yeah, and he introduces her to Holly Hardwood as my ex and future wife, Sue Ellen.
That's a bad thing, and Holly's a bitch.
Excuse me. Could the writers have come up with a different name from her friend than Jordan instead of recycling Jordan Lee's first name?
I mean, that's a popular name, Jordan. I don't know.
But still.
I don't know.
They use the name Faraday a lot, too.
No, they do. They do. Yeah, I don't know. And then Bobby and Pam, whilst dancing, bump into Clayton and Rebecca dancing. And then Pam gets super excited. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, that's the perfect couple. Oh my God. She's like marrying them off together in her head that moment.
Yes, we have people on here that say they would go to that event in a heartbeat.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
But we still want to go down there in the fall and do a live podcast.
I would very much like to do that. Yeah. I would
and
like
an
to go,
overnight.
I would like to go to South Fork again. That would be very fun.
And you notice there are a lot more events happening there. The monthly trade shows and the lots of conventions. I'm going to post.
It must have a good event personnel, like a new person working on that stuff. Okay, so then we cut to Punk. He introduces Ellie to an old friend of his, Frank Crutcher,
played by Dale Robertson.
So he compliments Ellie, and she calls him a used car salesman, which I love.
And then JR comes over and takes her away.
Yeah, he wheels her away immediately. He's just like, no.
Who is that? Oh, a friend of Punk's. And JR says, well, I thought Daddy was Punk's friend. Like Punk's only allowed to have one friend?
Only one friend. He feels like he's not being a friend by having Jock's wife talk to another man because JR has
crutchety crutcher.
Some serious issues.
Yeah,
I hate him.
JR's got his daddy issues big time. So.
And as they're being carted, they cart her away. They run into the cartel table, which is awkward. JR's a dick, as usual.
Well, ding, ding, ding.
And as they walk away, Cliff says to himself, JR's not worth the trouble. He's not worth the trouble. And I'm like, Cliff, okay, good. This is Cliff. Like, you're making sense, Cliff. Keep saying that. He's not. Don't feed the troll.
Keep saying that for the next 10 years.
If only.
Bobby Daniels' late wife called Crutcher the dirty old man.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
No. And Dale Robertson was a good character actor in the roles he was in, which I didn't happen to mention that.
What else was he in?
Yeah. Oh, God, I skipped that whole section. He played Jim Hardy on Tales of Wells Fargo, succeeded Ronald Reagan as the host of the Western anthology series Death Valley Days, played Walter Lancashire on the first season of Dynasty. Yeah, Timothy Patrick Murphy also, he played Mickey, and he enjoyed the relationship playing it with Ray. Prior to Dallas, Murphy appeared on the miniseries Sentinel and The Seekers, and he was on Search for Tomorrow. He also went to co-star alongside Morgan Brittany in the serial Glitter and played young Michael Landon in Landon's 1984 autobiographical movie Sam's Son. And sadly, Murphy died of AIDS in 1988 at 29 years old.
Yep. And his partner was Mark Patton, who was the main actor in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And they talk a lot about Timothy Murphy in the documentary about Mark Patton called Scream Queen.
J.J. Starbuck, that's the other one I was trying to think of. Yeah, I remember him on Dale Robertson on J.J. Starbuck. Yeah, he had that funny accent on there. He was talking. Texan with a bunch of marbles in his mouth. So then we cut away from the back to Emporia, Kansas, where Ray wonders what he can do to turn things around for the Trotter boy.
Trotter boy.
Donna's like, we're here for like 3 days. You're not going to be able to do anything. Just like maybe leave it alone.
Leave it alone. You didn't want to really come. You just want to cut ties with this whole section of your life. And just poor little Aunt Lil, who's, 50, 51, but looks like she's 70.
That's so sad.
She has a way of getting to Raymond.
Yeah. And he says he has to try because he's family. Okay.
I feel like Lil is Ray's kryptonite in a way. She just breaks him down. And,
kind of. He just feels guilty really easy around her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the speech. Speeches.
Oh, Barron's Ball. Punk goes up to the mic. Is this on? He thanks everyone for coming to the 30th annual Oil Barons Ball. And so it was started in 1952. That's good to know. Some trivia. And he says they're there tonight to honor Jock, who has been his friend since he was a kid. And then he tells the story of Jock giving him the name Punk, because his real name is Marvin.
Yes.
Marvin.
Now, this being the 30th, maybe they should do a anthology series and just do all 29 other balls. Each episode would be a different ball.
Yes.
See, we can expand this Dallas universe
the way that for having it start like in the 60s and having flashback, like it would be so good.
So many options.
Even if there are just mini-series things like Taylor Sheridan has done with Yellowstone.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, because everything these days is a limited run. It's more like European TV, which is good because it means like you can tell the story in as much time as it takes.
Quality over quantity.
Yes.
Quality over quantity.
Very much so.
I believe that.
Yes.
Taylor Sheridan has another spinoff of Yellowstone coming with Matthew McConaughey.
I have not watched any of Yellowstone yet, and I'm going to like one day binge it.
Yellowstone is my favorite. I have only watched like 2 episodes of 1923. Is that right?
Yep.
I can't get into it.
Helen Mirren, though, she's badass.
No, I mean, they're great actors. Don't get me wrong. I mean, what I saw was great. I just don't have the time, and I pick and choose. And
it keeps bouncing back and forth between Africa and and
that's what Scott was saying.
And then the abuse towards the students in the church school and those evil nuns. And then it's just, you're wondering where it goes, and it's hard to follow at first, but stick with it because it's only 8 episodes, and then there's the next season that they're filming for 8 more episodes to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Before they move on to 1940s and 1960s.
So are these like, because I haven't watched any of it, is it like the same family and they're picking up characters like later?
Yeah, they started present day, and then they showed the dad present day when he was a kid.
Okay.
On the second show. They're going backwards, and then now they're going forwards. Is that what they're doing?
No, that's cool.
No.
Okay.
Or middle.
No, they didn't. No, the first spinoff was all the way back in 1883.
Yeah, okay.
So it was.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
It was like way back.
Yeah, so it goes all the way back. Then it comes to 1923. So what's the one with Matthew McConaughey going to be?
They haven't announced yet, but they're going to do ones in the 1940s and the 1960s.
Gotcha.
And I love the little kid in the that plays the young Dutton in the 1883.
Yeah, he's
adorable, has a great accent, and he goes up to his mother and says, "Mommy, what does fuck mean?" It means a severe spanking if you say it again.
That's pretty much what my dad told me.
So back to Marvin.
Right. So then
yeah. Beth is badass on Yellowstone.
Yeah. Yes.
So he announces that the Jock Ewing Memorial Scholarship will be given out to 4 students at SMU. I'm guessing starting next year. And he doesn't know what Jock would say in this moment, so he's going to have Ellie speak for him. And then we get just the slow clap. First is Bobby. And then JR. And then all of a sudden everybody's clapping, and it's so good. I need to make that into like a GIF. So
Yes, do.
Even reluctantly, that Cliff the Barnacle Barnes is clapping too.
I mean, yeah, you gotta. Yep, slow clap for Ellie. So Bobby and JR join her on stage, and I just want to say, like, because the whole worry about them doing the scholarship, announcing the scholarship, was like they didn't want to put like Ellie on the spot. They didn't want Ellie to freak out. I feel like there was a middle ground between doing it and then like literally like making her be the person that talks, or like giving her a heads up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But she handled it like a champ.
She did handle it like a champ with her boys next to her. And then she gives a great speech.
Ellie always speaks well.
She does.
A speech as opposed to silently emoting.
Right.
Which is what she also does well.
She does that very well as well. Yeah. And then afterwards we cut to a portrait of Jock and in the living room of South Fork as they're all having a nightcap.
I love nightcaps.
A nightcap. And Ellie proposes a toast to Jock Ewing.
And then she drops her bomb.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da-da-da.
Yep. She says she's going to call Harv in the morning. It's time to lay Jock to rest legally. Freeze frame Ellie.
Freeze frame Ellie. So do we still get to drink?
Yeah, we have to drink twice because it's not JR.
Oh, there you go.
And scene.
Okay, before we do our ratings, I think that we should do some awards for the Oil Barons Ball. So we should do like who had the most classic dress or outfit. I won't even say dress. Who had the most classic outfit at the Oil Barons Ball this year?
All right, wait. Classic or classic fit to that time era? Because that would be Pam.
Okay.
It's like a vote.
Okay. Pam, yeah. Because then
Josh.
we have Pam. I'd say
Sue
Pam.
Ellen. No.
Sue Ellen?
So let's say my grandmother. Again, my grandmother.
Yeah. Yes. I just have to
and Ellie's
stir the
wasn't
pot a
fancy
little.
enough. It had no sparkles on it, no rhinestones, no glitter.
All this talk. I know, and Mavis was talking it up, and
for episodes like this dress of Ellie's is going to be so amazing, and then
it's
going to
knock your socks off.
But at least it wasn't T length like she always wears, like to the mid calf. At least it was long and it was flowy, silky, but it was too plain. It looked like a dress you could cut off and wear to church.
Our 80s legend, they're glad they did this tribute to Jock since he never got a funeral.
That's true. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do like some sort of let's lay him to rest memorial or something.
I kind of thought that would be an episode back then, you know.
But I think as the series goes on, Ellie should have released her own line of sack dresses.
I actually like Ellie's dresses. I would totally wear Ellie's dresses. I'm just going to say.
You would wear her sack dresses?
I would. I like the Peter Pan collar. I would totally wear that shit. But that's
I like when she rides the cycle.
Bobby Daniels said that a very important point. Travilla has not arrived yet, so the glitter and glam will come soon.
That's when Travilla comes, like the outfits just...
One name, like Halston. Oh my God. Travilla. Halston.
And that, I believe the year that they put out the South Fork collection.
With Deborah Nard was modeling some of it too.
Yeah, and I have been trying to get some of that stuff because I would like to own some of that, but I think it only came out in the UK, so it's like paying UK shipping.
Wait, whoa, back up. And what?
There was a line of clothes called the South Fork collection in like 1985.
And I remember that famous shot of Deborah Nard modeling some of it.
Yeah. And it's like all this like fancy, and it was design. I can't remember the designer, but it was some fancy designer. And like, even I've seen them on like Poshmark and eBay, and they're not cheap still to this day. And I'd like do it, but then I had to pay like $30 because it was like shipping from the UK.
It's because they're classic.
Yeah.
I just want all the old headline newspapers and have a collection of them. Put them on my wall.
Amazing. Okay, who is the most extra? Who is the most extra at the Old Bears Ball?
What do you mean most extra?
I was going to say Linda, but that's not. She wasn't the Old Bears Ball. I'll tell you what was extra. Holly Harwood's hair. It was like swooped over and then.
Yeah. Extra's like over the top. So yeah, Holly
Harwood's
hair.
She pulled it up on the way in because she was fucking in the parking lot. That's what it looked like.
I mean, maybe.
Ian McPherson said, if I can get it, I will bring it over and save your shipping costs.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That'd be
totally.
That'd be so good.
I'm looking right now.
I've been looking. I saw one years ago and I almost bought it because it was like this black dress. So I would have worn it. It was perfect. It was my size, everything. And I just didn't, I don't know why. I was just like, well, I don't know if I need a Dallas dress.
What
am I going to do?
What would our listeners like to see from us if we were to do a live podcast at South Fork?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. What do you guys want to see? Like, or what haven't we done that you guys would like us to do?
Do you want us to...
We'll make Josh wear a cowboy hat, an ascot, and Texas two-step.
Would I have to get shot? Would I get thrown in the pool?
No, you need to wear a safari outfit. I'm serious.
Oh, yeah. You want to wear a safari outfit and then a Stetson hat.
Yeah.
And an ascot.
I want to have like a party at South Park. Like, not a big party. Like,
you can do a party of 6
a little party,
or more.
Like a little pool party. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to give my rating. I am giving this a very rare, it could be my very first, I'm not sure, maybe second, 5 bourbon episode. And so I'm getting it 5 bourbons and a oil derrick champagne fountain.
I knew you were going to say that. And as well, this is my very first 5. And I love oil barons. Probably all going to get 5. But yes, 5 bourbons. And I am going to say it is Sue Ellen's ugly dress. I can't.
It's just
She's so much more posh than that. And I'm so disappointed.
Like,
and as we get through these, I'm going to start doing like a collection of the dresses for each oil barons.
Like, I would categorize, that's a good idea. I would categorize her dress as matronly.
That's it, matronly. And it's not her. I don't understand why they put that on her.
Sue Ellen's like hot. Like, let her be hot.
Yes, yes.
I give it a 2. No, I'm.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go with a 5 and an APB on Bobby and Pam for the first 45 minutes of the episode. But definitely an APB on them because I don't know about anyone out there in our live tonight or anyone that might listen to this later if they noticed the lack of Bobby and Pam for the first 45 minutes.
I did not until you said that the other day on our group chat.
Next week is Jock's Will.
Jock's Will. That is.
I can't quite remember it, but I'm not sure that's one of my favorites.
It is season 6, episode 5, episode 108 of the series. Jock's
and
Will.
I really think that this episode coming up, actually, I just want to do a momentary preview just to prepare people. It aired at 9 p.m. and was followed at 10 p.m. by a special Friday episode of Knots Landing. Ted Shackelford appeared in the Dallas episode, and Larry Hagman, Patrick Duffy, and Eric Farlow appeared in the Knots Landing episode, which was number 4 for the week. Jock's Will was not the last Dallas storyline to spill over into Knots Landing.
It was on right after Dallas on Friday night?
Yep, they aired back to back because they crossed over. Gary had come in from the Will.
Dang.
And then he was back at the hotel, and Abby was waiting for him in Dallas. But
I just remember
she never went.
That
she never went to South
Wednesdays.
Fork. Thursdays.
Thursdays. It was a school night. I couldn't watch it.
Yes, she never went to South Fork. She stayed at the hotel and told Gary to go see his mother without her, Abby.
Okay.
And in the same episode of Knots Landing, Valine was on her book tour for Capricorn Crude. And she was in a bookstore in Dallas in the same hotel. So it would be kind of interesting to just kind of cross-reference a little bit. Yeah. I might have to do some research.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay.
Isis was allowed to stay up and watch Knots Landing.
he had nicer parents than mine because I was not. I think my bedtime was 8 o'clock on school nights at that point. And
Mine was 9.
I could stay up later on weekends or on Friday nights. That's how I could watch Dallas, is because I could stay up till Dallas was over and then I had to go to bed.
Mine was 9.
No Falcon Crest for you.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't watch Falcon Crest. I never did.
Mine was 9, but on Wednesdays I could stay up till 10 because Quantum Leap came on 9 to 10, and we all loved it.
Have you watched the new Quantum Leap?
Mm-hmm. I heard it was good, but I have not watched it.
Oh, I didn't watch the original except for the episode when he leaped into Lee Harvey Oswald. That was my favorite.
That's the best episode. I have that one on tape from like the early 90s when that was on.
I have it on VHS somewhere.
That was like right in the middle of my high school obsession with the Kennedy assassination.
Both series are on Peacock.
Yeah.
So now that I finished season 1, which does really reference the original series a lot, and
does
Sam and Al.
Oh, okay.
Al's daughter is in the new series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to give that a shot.
And I might go back and watch the original series over the summer.
That's a good one to watch. Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming to this. I feel like this has been our biggest live so far. This has been really fun and exciting.
Maybe might go live again for maybe there's a wedding coming up that we might go live for.
I wonder if there's a wedding coming up. Maybe. So we'll have to do something special for the wedding.
Balls, barbecues, weddings, and season finales.
Season finales and maybe rodeos. We'll see. Okay, well, thank you again, guys. Until next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
See ya. Bye.
Next on Dallas.
Jock's gone, and it's time to let the court make it official. I have a notion that you know something.
Daddy was a fair man, and if you think he would have slighted his first and eldest, you never knew Jock Ewing.
That will is going to determine who finally owns Ewing Oil. If Daddy gave him back the company, then you and I are going to get out of here.
Bobby.
I'm not going to sit around and watch him take over again.
A company the size of Ewing Oil can have only one man at the helm. That's got to be